everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a super important concept in machine learning. But before we get into it, here's a quote to set the tone. The goal is not to overdo or underdo, but to do it right. Whether it's a training, a model, or solving a real life problem, this simple line holds so much wisdom. So let's explore what it really means, especially when it comes to underfitting and overfitting. Let's get started. Before we jump in, here's a quick look at what we will be covering in this video. We will start by understanding underfitting, what it is and why it happens, followed by a simple example to make it crystal clear. Next, we will move on to overfitting, again breaking it down with a relatable example. Once we know both extremes, we will enter the Goldilocks zone, where the model fits just right. I will then show you how all of this looks visually on a graph, and to wrap up things, we will connect everything with fun, real life analogies so you never forget these concepts again. So stay tuned, lots of learning and insights coming your way. Let's start with the basics. What is underfitting? Underfitting happens when your model is just too simple to understand the actual patterns in your data. Imagine trying to fit a straight line to data that clearly curves. No matter how hard the model tries, it just can't capture the trend. As a result, the model performs badly on both the training data and the test data. Now, how do you spot underfitting? Some common symptoms are high training error, high testing error, and the model simply fails to catch the underlying trends. Why does this happen? Well, there are a few possible reasons. The model itself is too basic, like using a linear model for a non-linear problem. You are not using enough features. You might be applying too much regularization, or maybe you didn't train it long enough. In short, underfitting means your model has not learned enough. It needs more capacity or better training. So now that we know what underfitting is, let's see how it actually looks with a simple visual example. Take a look at this graph. The blue dots here represent the actual data, which follows a curved quadratic pattern, basically something like y equals x squared plus some noise. But now notice the red line. This is our model, and it's trying to fit this complex curved data using a simple straight line equation like y is equal to ax plus b. As you can see, the red line completely fails to capture the curve of the data. It doesn't follow the trend at all, and that's a textbook case of underfitting. Why? Because the model is way too simple for the problem. Even though it tries its best, it doesn't have the capacity to learn the true pattern. In short, this is what happens when you use a weak model on complex data. It misses the mark on both training and testing. Alright, that was underfitting. Now let's flip the coin and talk about the other extreme, overfitting. Overfitting happens when your model becomes too smart for its own good. Instead of just learning the true patterns in the training data, it also memorizes all the random noise and outliers. As a result, it performs extremely well on the training data, but when you give it new, unseen data, boom, the performance drops badly. How do you spot overfitting? Look out for very low training error but high testing error, and a model that seems perfect on the data it's seen but fails to generalize in real world situations. Why does this happen? Some common culprits are a model that's too complex, like very deep decision trees or too many parameters, too little training data to actually learn meaningful trends, too many input features, or simply no regularization to keep the model under control. In short, overfitting is like memorizing the textbook without understanding the concepts. Looks brilliant in class but fails in the exam. Now let's look at a visual example to truly understand what overfitting looks like in action. In this graph, the blue dots represent our actual data points. They roughly follow a smooth parabolic curve, but yes, there's a bit of random noise in there, just like in real-world datasets. Now look at the orange curve. This is the model we have trained, but instead of fitting a simple curve, we have used a very complex model, like a 15th degree polynomial. What happens? The model bends and twists itself to perfectly connect every single training point, even the noisy, meaningless ones. This is classic overfitting. It looks amazing on the training data, but the moment we give it new data, it totally fails to generalize. So remember, when a model starts obsessing over every tiny detail and noise in the training set, that's when we have crossed from learning to memorizing, and that's overfitting. So we have seen what happens when a model is too simple, underfitting, and what happens when it's too complex, overfitting. Now let's talk about the sweet spot, the Goldilocks zone, where the model is just right. This is ideal scenario. The model is not too basic, so it captures the true pattern in the data. It's also not too complicated, so it doesn't get distracted by noise or irrelevant details. And most importantly, it performs well not just on the training data, but also generalizes beautifully to new unseen data. This balance is what we always aim for in machine learning, a model that learns well, adapts well, and stays reliable in the real world. Here's what a perfectly balanced model looks like in action. In this graph, the blue dots are our real data points. They follow a smooth quadratic trend but with a little natural noise, just like we see in real world datasets. The green curve is our model, in this case, a second degree polynomial, which is just the right complexity for this kind of data. Notice how it captures the true underlying pattern, the U-shaped curve, but doesn't twist and turn to chase the noisy patterns. This is the ideal scenario. The model fits the training data well without memorizing the noise, which means it will also perform well on new data, unseen data. In short, this is the Goldilocks fit. Not too simple, not too complex, just right. Now let's bring it all together with some real life analogies, because sometimes learning through examples just hits differently. First up, underfitting. Think of a student who barely studies, they go into the exam with zero preparation and no surprise, perform poorly. That's your underfitting model. It has not learned enough to do well on any data. Now on the flip side, overfitting. Imagine a student who only memorizes mock test answers. In the actual exam, the questions are slightly different and they panic. That's overfitting. The model memorized the training data but cannot handle anything new. And finally, the Goldilocks zone. This is the student who really understands the concepts, they have practiced, they get the logic, and they are confident in tackling any question even if it's slightly twisted. That's what a good fit model does. It generalizes well and stays strong in real world scenarios. So, whether you are training models or preparing for exams, the goal is the same. Don't underdo it, don't overdo it, do it just right. And that's a wrap up. Today, we explored the difference between underfitting, overfitting, and the sweet spot, the just right fit. We looked at definitions, real life graphs, and even some fun analogies to make it stick. If this helped you understand the concept better, make sure to like the video, drop your thoughts or question in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more bite-sized machine learning content. Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and remember, the goal is not to overdo or not underdo, but to do it right.